Welcome back to our channel, your go-to source for the most compelling and exclusive stories about the stars you love. Today, we're diving into a shocking revelation about the legendary Kenny Rogers. It's been 3 years since his passing, and now his widow, Wanda Miller, is breaking her silence with surprising details that no one saw coming. But before we uncover her jaw-dropping confession, let's take a look back at Kenny Rogers' extraordinary life and explore what might have led him to these unexpected actions. Kenny Rogers was a small-town dreamer with a guitar in hand, carving out his path through the rhythms of life. Born on August 21, 1938, in Houston, Texas, Kenny didn't grow up surrounded by the glitz and glam of showbiz. His roots were humble. His father, Edward, worked as a carpenter, while his mother, Lucille, was a nurse's assistant. Growing up in a federal housing project with 7 siblings, Kenny faced the tough realities of life. He became the first in his family to graduate high school, but as he reflected in his 2012 memoir Luck or Something Like It, life wasn't always easy. "We were poor," Kenny recalled, "but living in the projects, we didn't really feel it because we were all in the same boat." Money was tight in the Rogers household, and meals were simple pinto beans, rice, corn, and collard greens, which Kenny and his mother would gather along the banks of Buffalo Bayou. The family's limited financial situation meant they had to make do with whatever they could find, and these simple meals were part of their daily reality. Despite these hardships, the Rogers family remained close-knit and optimistic. Kenny's brother Roy often spoke about their resilience, and his sister Sandy remembered the strong sense of community that helped hold them together during difficult times. Even as Kenny worked toward his musical dreams, his family's values and faith played a significant role in his life. Dolly Parton, Kenny's lifelong friend, mentioned that the two of them bonded over their similarly challenging upbringings. Both shared a deep faith, which helped shape their friendship and partnership in music. That shared experience of overcoming hardship brought them closer together, building a strong connection that endured for years. Yet, financial hardship wasn't the only challenge Kenny faced growing up. His father's battle with alcoholism left a lasting impact on him. Kenny watched the toll that his father's struggles took on their family and feared he might inherit the same problems. His father, overwhelmed by the pressure of providing for a large family during the post-World War II era, turned to alcohol as a way to cope. Jobs were scarce, and many like his father found solace in drinking to deal with the stresses of the time. Kenny later regretted not fully understanding the depth of his father's struggles before he passed. Kenny's dream of a music career began when he was inspired by a Ray Charles concert in his youth. He set his sights on fame, admitting that part of his motivation was to impress the ladies. In Houston, he formed a doo-wop group called the Scholars, which scored a regional hit with That Crazy Feeling in 1958. Despite this success, reality soon set in, and the group returned home broke. Kenny didn't give up, though. He went on to play bass in a local jazz trio and became a member of the New Christy Minstrels. In 1967, he and 3 bandmates left the group to form the first edition, with Kenny taking center stage. Hits like Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town, and Reuben James in 1969 launched him into stardom, marking the beginning of a legendary career. The band even had their own TV show, Rollin' on the River, which aired from 1971 to 1973. Kenny Rogers was on a meteoric rise, transforming from a small-town dreamer into a musical sensation. Over the course of his career, he sold a staggering 100 million records. Despite his fame, Kenny never forgot his roots. He often reflected on the sense of community he had with his neighbors growing up. In the 1970s, when he learned that a former neighbor was $600 short for a car repair, he not only helped her out, but sent her $20,000 with instructions to buy a new car. This act of generosity came with a note that read, "Thank you for helping me pay my rent years ago." With his warm smile and rugged charm, Kenny Rogers became a music legend not just for his good looks, but for his ability to connect with audiences through heartfelt ballads and powerful storytelling. He believed that his songs fell into 2 categories: sweet ballads that express what every man wishes to say and every woman hopes to hear, and story songs with deeper meaning. Songs like Reuben James and Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town exemplified his gift for storytelling, addressing powerful themes like race and war. Rogers' ability to captivate listeners with such meaningful narratives contributed greatly to his immense popularity. In a 2012 interview, Rogers spoke about the inspiration behind some of his greatest hits. Reuben James, a 1969 hit for Kenny Rogers and the first edition, told the story of a black man raising a white child, while Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town was a haunting ballad about a wounded war veteran and his unfaithful wife. The latter, written by Mel Tillis, struck a chord with audiences as Kenny delivered the powerful line, "And if I could move, I'd get my gun and put her in the ground." Kenny Rogers' personal life was as eventful as his music career, marked by 5 marriages. His first union, at just 19, was to Janice Gordon, who was pregnant with their daughter, Carol. Despite loving her, Kenny revealed in his memoir that her parents disapproved of him, believing he had ruined her life. Their efforts to separate the couple were successful, and Kenny deeply regretted the marriage falling apart. After their split, he lost contact with his daughter, a decision that haunted him for years. His second marriage, to John Rogers, ended without children, and Kenny later admitted that boredom was the main reason for their breakup. Kenny's third marriage was to Margot Anderson, with whom he had a son. Kenny Jr., the relationship started with excitement, but after 12 years, it began to deteriorate, largely due to Kenny's relentless touring schedule. His music career took a toll on their family life, eventually leading to their separation. He then married actress Marianne Gordon, and together they had a son named Christopher. Their relationship, while strong at first, ended in a highly publicized divorce in 1993. The settlement became one of the most expensive at the time, costing Kenny a staggering $60 million. However, Kenny never resented Marianne and openly acknowledged that she deserved every penny for standing by him during his early career struggles. Throughout Kenny and Marianne's marriage, rumors swirled about a possible romantic connection between Kenny and his longtime friend Dolly Parton. Their undeniable on-stage chemistry and playful off-stage interactions fueled speculation in the tabloids. The public believed there was something more behind their teasing and flirtation, but both Kenny and Dolly were clear that their bond was purely platonic. Dolly even described their relationship as being almost like brother and sister, while Kenny jokingly added that keeping the romantic tension alive made it more fun. Despite the rumors, their close friendship never posed a threat to Kenny's marriages, and Marianne herself stated that she never felt jealous of Dolly. Kenny ultimately admitted that his love for music played a significant role in his failed marriages. In a candid 2012 interview, he compared his passion for music to a mistress, explaining that it was difficult for any wife to compete with. He humorously added, "You can't call me commitment phobic. I've been married 5 times." Despite his intense love for music, Kenny never blamed his wives for their separations. He took full responsibility for the breakdown of his marriages, recognizing that his devotion to his career often caused him to neglect his personal life. After his divorces, Kenny Rogers adopted a more relaxed approach to relationships, casually dating until he met the woman who would become the love of his life, Wanda Miller. The introduction came about through his friend Charlie Miner, who set Kenny up on a blind date at Pry Restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia. While the date itself was not particularly memorable, Kenny was captivated by Wanda, who was working her night shift at the restaurant. Her warm, genuine smile left a lasting impression on him. Although out of respect for his date, Kenny did not approach Wanda that night. He couldn't shake the feeling that he had to know her. Later, he called the restaurant and left his phone number with one of her coworkers, hoping she would reach out. At first, Wanda was unsure about the idea of Kenny Rogers being interested in her. In fact, she initially tossed the number aside. However, with some encouragement from her coworkers, she eventually called him back, and that marked the beginning of their relationship. After dating for nearly 6 months, Wanda decided it was time to tell her parents about Kenny. Their reaction was far from enthusiastic concern about the 26-year age gap, especially since Rogers was 2 years older than Wanda's parents themselves. Despite their concerns, Kenny, a father of 3, understood their protective nature and reassured them that he had no intention of hurting their daughter. Over time, Kenny built a genuine friendship with Wanda's parents, and after 5 years of dating, the couple married on June 1, 1997, at Rogers Ranch in Athens, Georgia. This fifth and final marriage was the most fulfilling for Kenny. He later acknowledged that in his previous marriages, he wasn't fully ready for commitment, as he had been caught up in the whirlwind of his success and wealth. However, with Wanda, he found the stability and love he had long sought, and their relationship grew stronger with time. In 2004, Kenny and Wanda welcomed twin sons into their lives, though Kenny initially had reservations about becoming a father again. He was worried about his age and whether he would be there for the important milestones in his children's lives, such as seeing them go off to college. However, when Wanda, at 31, expressed her deep desire to become a mother, Kenny knew it wasn't fair to deny her that experience. Embracing fatherhood once more, he retired from his career to spend more time with his family, cherishing the moments he had with his wife and children. Kenny Rogers' life, though filled with love, success, and family, wasn't without its regrets. In his memoir, he shared some of the wild experiences he had throughout his life, including a humorous story about experimenting with drugs before a performance. One night, after stepping off stage, his bandmates asked him, "What's with the zoo talk?" Confused, Kenny realized he had been rambling nonsensically on stage due to the drugs. This incident became one of the more lighthearted but cautionary tales Kenny reflected on later, showing that even music legends have their moments of misjudgment. In another memorable moment, Kenny tried acid, which sent him on a roller coaster of emotions ranging from intense happiness to sadness, and then to a state of complete confusion. Although this was a one-time experience, Kenny didn't shy away from discussing it openly in his memoir. It was another example of the ups and downs he encountered throughout his journey, highlighting that no one is immune to personal missteps, even those as celebrated as Kenny Rogers. One of Kenny's most significant personal regrets, however, didn't stem from his stage performances or brief encounters with drugs, but rather from a decision to undergo plastic surgery. At a time when he had the financial means and time, Kenny decided to alter his face, focusing on his eyes. He trusted a renowned plastic surgeon who had a vision for his new look, but after the procedure, Kenny was left feeling uneasy about the results. While he didn't despise the outcome, it wasn't what he had hoped for, and it became a lingering regret in his later years. Despite the regret over the surgery, Kenny chose not to dwell on it too much. He accepted it as part of his journey of self-improvement, acknowledging that it was a phase he went through and learned from. He even commented that he had seen far worse outcomes on others and, in time, found a way to come to peace with his decision. Throughout Kenny Rogers' life filled with both high points and challenges, his greatest source of peace came from his relationship with Wanda Miller. The couple shared a deep, loving bond for 22 years before Kenny passed away on March 20, 2020. Although his health had gradually deteriorated with age, there wasn't much public mention of a terminal illness, making his death feel sudden. The timing of his passing, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, added a layer of difficulty, as restrictions and health concerns meant his funeral had to be kept small and intimate. This close, personal service reflected Wanda's desire to maintain privacy in their personal life. However, the world felt the loss of the legendary musician, and one of Kenny's closest friends, Dolly Parton, was deeply shaken. Dolly shared that Kenny's death felt like a shockwave, and though their iconic duets like Islands in the Stream remain timeless, his loss was especially painful for her. 3 years after Kenny's passing, Wanda began opening up about how deeply she missed him. She spoke of their final days together, spent enjoying simple pleasures like watching movies and indulging in Kenny's favorite dessert, vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce. These moments of shared joy became cherished memories that helped Wanda cope with her overwhelming grief. The small, everyday moments that brought them happiness during Kenny's final days were what Wanda held onto, providing her with a sense of comfort and peace. Reflecting on their love, she found solace in the thought that Kenny's presence was still with her, even though he was no longer physically by her side. One of the most touching sources of comfort came from their son, Justin. After Kenny's passing at home, Wanda worried about how their children would process such a significant loss. But Justin, with a maturity beyond his years, reassured her by saying, "Mom, one thing about Dad passing away at home is that his sweet spirit will be here forever." This insightful perspective helped Wanda embrace the idea that Kenny's presence remained with them, particularly within their home. This comforting thought allowed Wanda to feel that Kenny's spirit was still watching over them, softening the pain of his absence and helping her begin to heal. Even today, Wanda continues to find comfort in small signs that remind her of Kenny. One such sign comes in the form of little red birds that visit her balcony. Wanda believes these birds carry messages from Kenny, appearing whenever she is thinking of him. This almost secret language between them brings her a sense of peace, reminding her that even though Kenny is physically gone, his spirit lingers in the smallest, most beautiful ways. These moments of connection with Kenny's spirit help Wanda keep his memory alive, allowing her to feel close to him even after his passing. Despite the profound heartbreak of losing Kenny, Wanda has managed to find a way to move forward in life, guided by Kenny's own words of encouragement before his passing. In a recent interview, she revealed that Kenny had given her his blessing to seek happiness again, knowing that she would likely outlive him. Being 28 years older than Wanda, Kenny had always been realistic about their future. In one particularly emotional conversation, he told her, "I'm not going to live forever. I want you to be happy. You're young, and I want you to have a full life past me." His loving words gave Wanda the permission she needed to eventually open her heart to someone new, without feeling that she was betraying the love they had shared for so many years. 3 years after Kenny's passing, Wanda has indeed found love again. This new chapter in her life is not about forgetting Kenny, but fulfilling his wish for her to live a full and happy life. By finding a new partner, Wanda also hoped to show their twin sons, Justin and Jordan, that love and life can continue to grow even after experiencing such a profound loss. Wanda shared in an interview that Kenny had always given her his best, and it was with his encouragement that she was able to move forward. Her journey to healing and finding new love wasn't immediate or easy, but with the support of friends, she eventually met someone special. Their relationship began as a friendship, gradually growing deeper over time. Wanda's new partner has shown great understanding and respect for the love she shared with Kenny. From the start, he reassured her children by saying, "I'm not your dad. No one will ever take the place of your dad, but I'm here as your friend forever." This acknowledgement of Kenny's irreplaceable role in their lives has helped Wanda and her family navigate this new chapter. Even their friends have jokingly suggested that Kenny might have had a hand in bringing them together, as some of the qualities Wanda admired in her new partner, his leadership, kindness, and positive energy, reminded her of Kenny. These familiar traits provided comfort rather than a sense of replacement, allowing Wanda to feel that her new relationship was a continuation of the love and values she had shared with Kenny. By embracing this new relationship, Wanda honors Kenny's memory in a way that reflects the deep bond they had. His wish for her to find happiness after his passing is being fulfilled, as Wanda's journey through grief, love, and healing stands as a testament to the strength of their connection. While no one can ever truly take Kenny's place, Wanda's ability to move forward with his blessing shows her resilience and the enduring power of their love. This new chapter in Wanda's life is not about replacing the past, but about building on it in a way that honors the man Kenny was and the love they shared. Through her journey, Wanda shows that love, even after loss, can evolve and take on new forms, keeping the memory of someone irreplaceable like Kenny Rogers alive in the heart forever. What do you think about the incredible life of Kenny Rogers? His journey from humble beginnings to becoming a music legend, along with his enduring love story with Wanda. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss more inspiring stories about iconic figures like Kenny. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.